Hey guys, it's Kevin, and welcome to just a short little video of a explanation of how I made this picture in Photoshop. I made this picture earlier this week, and I just want to show you just a quick breakdown of how I brought this to life. And so this is the final picture right here. You see this man who is studying the Bible, and you see all of these arrows and all of these attacks coming down, and they're raining down on the desk, and they're hitting the wood, and they're hitting the laptop, and they're just burning all around him, but he is still focused on what he's studying. And I want to show you how I created that. So the first thing I did was I need to get a picture of myself, and I took this picture in the basement. This is just a simple picture of me at a big wooden table. I've got all of my gear here. I've got I've got the Bible, I've got the laptop, I've got other books and notepads, and I got a little coffee cup here, and just a pretty basic scene right here. And behind me, you see just a gray sheet, just a plain gray sheet, just so you don't see the back of my basement. And there's a speed light behind me, which is just going to cause some of this light on the left side of my left arm. And then on the right side, there's another flash. You can't see it because it's not in the picture, but there's another speed light just very similar to it, and it's aimed this way, and so you have a little bit of light on my other shoulder as well. In the front, you can't see it because it's off camera, but there is an orange light that is projecting some orange colors on the top of this desk. You can kind of see it on the hourglass here. You can see those nice little orange highlights there, and that's coming from the orange light in front of me. But all in all, just a basic scene, just me at a desk, just studying here. I've got the laptop, for like doing research. I've got the extra books. I've got my notepad, and the hourglass is kind of there to represent, that the end is coming soon, that Christ is coming back, prophecies being fulfilled, and stuff like that. And so that's why the hourglass is there. But just all these little hodgepodge of things on the desk. So the first thing I need to do is I need to cut myself out from the background. We don't want that gray sheet in the background. I wanted to cut that out, and then that we can start adding things everywhere that we need to add them to. And so we've got let's see here. First thing we want to do is we want to add the bottom of the desk. And so I didn't want to see my feet or anything like that. I just wanted the bottom of the desk to be added down there. And then the background, I wanted it to look like I was kind of like in an office or kind of like inside. So I just found a stock image and just blurred it really, really heavily. This is just like the inside of a big office with some lights and stuff. And so I just blurred that like crazy. So you can't really notice what's going on in the background. But then I wanted to add some arrows going everywhere. And so to make the arrows, I added some arrows that I made from Cinema 4D. Let me show you. This is in Cinema 4D. And so I designed one of these little arrows right here. And so I've got some lights around it just so you can see it a little bit better. But these arrows right here is just pretty basic. But what I can do is I can move them. I can rotate it, and I can make it bigger or smaller, or going up and down or towards the camera or away from the camera, however I need it to go. And then I would render them out, and then I would just bring it into Photoshop. And so it's pretty cool making stuff like this in Cinema 4D, these 3D objects. And then I brought it into Photoshop. So let me show you what the arrows look like here. So here's all the arrows that I brought. So you see what I just did. I just took several ones of these arrows in Cinema 4D, just rendered them, brought them in, and just scattered them all throughout the scene. And this is before I started blending it into the scene. But this is what it looks like with the arrows straight from Cinema 4D. And then I wanted to add some fire to them. And so I've got all these little fire elements, these textures that I've taken over the years, and I just added those fire flames like right on top of the tips of the arrows and going up the long side of the arrows as well. After I had all of these arrows here, I needed to add some glows to make it look like they are actually burning onto the desk. And so I started adding some embers here in the background. I started adding some other glows. Actually added a couple extra arrows that are in here in the back. So there's 2 extra arrows. Added some smoke that's coming up from the arrows and from the flames. And then I also wanted to add, a bunch of other, sparks and stuff like that. So here's some sparks, and here's another flame right on my shoulder, and here's some more sparks going up from the laptop and everything. So just wanted to make sure I added all of those to make it look like it was a little bit more realistic, that there's all these little textures going. I started doing some work on the actual picture of me, and so I made myself a little bit darker here. And then I also added some little glows everywhere. You can see the bright orange and red glows everywhere. And just to make it look like it's blending a little bit better. And then this little light down here. Let's see, what else did I add to it? After this, we're just going to add some more details. And so I just worked on some details here and there, added some black little soot here, some lights on my head and, different parts of my body and stuff like that. So here's some rim lights. Added some extra highlights here on my shirt, some other highlights here. Added some shadows there. And then after that, I was pretty much done. I just wanted to add some color grade here. And so I've got a bunch of layers of color grade. I won't go through all of them, but at the end, it kind of looks like this. And so let me just kind of click them off real quick so you can kind of see what happened here. So just a little bit of different details here. And then I wanted to change the scene a lot more blue. So I did this little gradient map here that changes them blue, and then brought some more color back, and just a lot of different colors that I added in here and overlaid and just made it look a little bit more visually pleasing here. Added some more fire here to the front, but just a whole lot of different color grades here just to bring it all together. And at the end, this is what we look like. And so this is the final project. It took about 2 or 3 hours if you count the photography time and you count the Cinema 4D time getting these errors right. But a really fun project. I hope it's an encouragement to you if you're ever studying the scripture or studying the Bible and you feel like you're being under attack, you feel like you're being distracted, you feel like all these other things are going on. And so I hope that's an encouragement to you to keep studying, keep learning, and keep looking out for the return of Christ. No matter what the enemy is trying to do to stop you from learning, I just pray that you continue to keep studying and keep focusing on what's important. But guys, that's how I made this image here. I hope, again, that you've learned something from it. I hope that you're encouraged and inspired to do your own artwork. That would be really cool. I'd love to see what you guys can create. But I just wanted to show you the short video today, how I made this one. And I hope that you guys have a great weekend, and I will see you back on Monday morning with a brand new Photoshop of the day. Have a good weekend. I'll see you soon.